I think we always know how to just find a way to win games, no matter what style it is, high scoring, low scoring, defensive battle, shootout, whatever it is. We find another level of grit and determination, and it's an ability to find a way to get it done, and be in hostile environments where you get tested, you get pushed, and our experience kind of shows at the right time. So obviously in this situation, it's a must for us to win a championship, and we got to be up for that task. That's a great question. Uh, Go back and watch Ray Allen clips. Obviously Reggie, Steph Curry. Who else I watch? That's the top of the list. Might throw some old Virginia Tech Del Curry highlights in without the 3-point line. But other than that, you're kind of just watching a lot of just film of other games and all that. It's not so much a YouTube thing. It's more just being an NBA fan and just watching Marcus Thompson. Unbelievable. I'm calling you. It's like when you're in church and like the pastor's giving a sermon and you over there with your phone. You just more so just being an NBA fan and just consuming as much basketball as possible, and you start to get motivated and inspired by all different type of people. I think I'll start with GP. Like, I think probably a lot of just his name first and foremost in terms of basketball history, and it's so hard to make this league in general, but even harder when what I would feel like the odds of like the NBA's player's son trying to follow in the dad's footsteps. It's a difficult challenging journey for him. Coming out of college and trying to find his way. G League training camp offers, bouncing around the league all over the place, and then finally finding a home. And last year, him coming in and making an impact. And I think he was on two-way last year. And like he was available, but not really. And then knowing he could really help us this year, and then it actually proven to be an amazing difference maker. I think fans really resonate with that. They love the way he approaches the game, his energy. He changes games without really having crazy scoring outputs. It's just the stuff that you just get so much energy from watching him defend and disrupt and do all that type of stuff. Fans love that, and we love it too as a team. So it's been awesome to watch his growth and development this year. And him coming off that injury, that moment he checked back in the game was an amazing response from the crowd that gave us a lot of juice. And I'm sure more of that to come in this series. What was that? Especially like this historic team, the dynasties from the '80s, and how many championships they won over the course of the years. All the different highlights you watch that just have a different iconic look when you see it on TV. Just watching Larry Legend do what he did in his entire career, even looking at the Boston LA series, KG and Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Rondo, and getting the championship here. KG's hilarious post game. Anything is possible, whatever. So there's a lot of history in this city and in this building, and should be an amazing atmosphere, out there on the court tomorrow and Friday. So one of them was offline or something that nobody else really saw, and then they actually checked it, and it was like, yeah, it was off center by like an inch or so. I see it more as like just the different venues have different, backdrops and lighting and stuff that certain shooters like more than others. It just depends on kind of what your flavor is. So I like Dallas was like it's like a bright arena, and I just like the lighting in there. the backdrop in Madison Square Garden is dope because it's the stage lighting and it's dark. I just there's certain things you see and you prefer the different arenas and rims around the league. So that's how I see it more so than the actual rim itself. Very unspoken thing. I think there's conversations around like maybe play calls or different looks to try to get somebody a good shot, but it's not so much mechanics or building up anybody's confidence because you don't get to that level if your confidence is that shaky. Where a couple of bad games, you're like, oh, the world's falling. And we both understand that vibe. You don't want to, and honestly, you don't really want to hear anything about it if you're going through it yourself, because at any moment you can spark yourself to get back on track and get out of it. So um, it's the best thing you could probably say is just keep shooting because that's the only way you get yourself out of uh, some rough patches. I don't like to use that S word. History with him has shown there's no predictor to when he can just take it to another level. Regular season playoffs, he's always just found a way to get himself going and to especially in the playoffs, just to make an impact that's loud. Usually, it's really loud, and his demeanor never really changes. It's not really something you can just look at and be like, oh, if you saw him right now, you think he's averaging 50 in this series. Like he's got just a very confident look about him, and that's the best thing about him. It's all about the work you put in. It's about the mindset. He doesn't need any teaching points on that, and so that's why there's so much confidence that at any moment he can go off.